Morning. Excuse me. Morning, everyone. Okay. Okay. Right. Just let these people in. Okay. As per normal, just say we're going to change over the charts in a moment. And just please, as per normal, post or interact verbally so we can discuss trading ideas. I'm just going to move over now. Just a second. Okay. Few new people here. Just want to mention that. You can interact verbally. Hang on, wait till this comes in. Okay, right. So I'm going to change over now to the sharing. Hope you can see it and hear me okay. Right. All right, sorted. Okay, don't forget, anybody new here, you can interact on the chat line or verbally if you want to do that, where we discuss trade ideas and pose questions like a forum where we interact. Okay, morning all. Just to let John in. Okay, just give it another minute or so and then we can get started. Morning, Fonny. Okay, right, that's half past. Okay, we can get started. Yeah, I've got a couple of trade ideas out. We'll look at that. It's popped up a little bit from the signal, but we've got to understand, that happens. It's just not a problem. As long as you got the overall view of downside, which we have. Well, I have anyway. And we'll see what happens. It can pop up and down. As you know, some will start off and you think, now what's happened? You see a bit of red. Give it a bit of patience, give it a time, and often they do turn into blue. Right, so hopefully this will happen as well. Right, so here we are. We've got GBP, CHF. If you've entered the trade, that's fine. If you haven't and you want to enter a trade, you are getting a better price. So don't put a sells. Just let these guys in. Don't, quite a few joining now. Don't put a sell stop in, rather go in at market, you get a better price. So if you like it, it's right at the support resistance area. If you look at the 4-hour chart, it's holding there. So if you like it, you can go in and sell it at market if you're not already in. Okay, don't ever forget, you can't expect it to go immediately your way. There's millions of people trading. So you got your stop and it'll go up and down and give it some patience, let it run. Oh, and it might take a day or two. It might take longer. Give it a chance. Give the trade a chance. Okay. Don't forget anybody new. Like I mentioned, it's a forum. It's where we discuss trade ideas, fundamentals. Any questions? Interact with us like some of the other more experienced guys do. You can chat by, obviously unmuting yourself, or you can post on the chat line as per normal. Okay, so you got the details. If you use the same stop loss TP, if you want to enter now, if you don't, well, don't. And if you're already in, just hold on and hope it'll pull back. Okay, right. The other one was the Swiss franc. Also a sell. Dollar strength a bit. I get that, but I'm not sure it's going to be maintained. So it's had a bit of a bounce up. So we thought it might actually come off a bit, having we rallied to this sort of level here. If you don't agree, don't do it. If you do like it, go for it. It's a slightly better price than the market price. 16, just a little bit higher, so you're getting a better price, remember. So if you like it, you can go in at market. Okay, those are two trades we got out. Gold's been jumping around. I think most people might have modified the stop and been stopped out in a profit. You shouldn't have taken a loss on this one. If you did something wrong, I'm afraid. I'm out now. I think a lot of people are out. Didn't quite get to the TP, but he got a decent way near that. And so profit taking or whatever's been taken. It might pop up again. If you're still in it and you didn't modify the stop, you can stick with it if you like. It should be in a slight profit as we speak anyway, but I think most people might have been out on this one. Okay.
Hello, Roger. Can we jump
Yeah.
back into gold when it hits about 1955?
Good point there. Good question. Not a bad question. That just minimize that just a second. Yeah. Well, the dollar strengthened a little bit. No, it's jumping around about the 102 mark. I think maybe it's a problem with the chart. It seems to be jumping around the 102 mark. Yeah. It so much depends on what the dollar does. I'm just going to look at the 10-year note as well. You should all have that. If you don't, I can always put it on there for you. Just let these guys in. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, get these guys out of the way here. It jumped a little bit. Load shedding. Just there we are. Okay, hang on. Just change that a bit. Okay, right. Okay, remember if the yields go up and the DXY goes up, it will have a negative effect on gold. Dollar's gone up a little bit, so you might miss it. I'm not sure. You might get it to 1950. I'm still sticking with the buy, but it might pull back to these levels here, maybe 48. So if you do go in now, you need to put your stop down there somewhere, about 1935. The problem is if you can aim at 1980, which still is the high at the moment, you're not going to get a risk reward. So I think for that point of view, maybe see you can get 1950. You might miss risking the trade. I get that, but you're not going to risk reward at 1980 and 1935 stop. That's your problem. So maybe just hang on. If you can get a bit of better price, great. If you don't, well, you missed the trade. So I would say a 1950 might be a better job. Okay. That's what I reckon. Anyway, didn't do it again. Yep. Oh yes, AUD, CAD was another one we got out. Let's just push this up a bit. Just get the figures for you hand. 88.54. It was the entry. Remember, it went up a bit, and everyone starts. Oh no, it's going up. Well, it will do up and down, up and down. Right, you guys. Not started will know that. You guys, understandably, totally understandably, it's quite normal. Starts getting a little bit upset about it, knickers in a twist, etc. Markets are going to go up and down, red and green all the time. Okay, so give the trade a chance, and look what's happening. It's nice, a little bit of a profit. The only problem I have now is it seems to find a bit of resistance there. It occurred yesterday, and and a few buyers are coming in. So just watch it a bit. You should be in the region of about 45 to 50 pips in profit, depending when you entered, which is pretty damn good. If it starts to rise up a bit, you can either take it or you can modify stop. Whatever you do, modify the stop. Not too close. If you got in around about the signal price, you can go maybe 5 pips below. Make it 88.50 as your stop loss. That covers your costs. Whatever happens, you won't make any money, but you won't lose on it. And maybe it'll come off a little bit further. I'm just thinking that you could get a bit of noise here because on the daily chart, there has been a bit of resistance here. So let's look at the 4 hour. Anything happening there? Okay, on the 1 hour, it's trying to pop up. The sellers coming in, which is good news for us. Those going short, it's a bit of sideways at the moment, but as it tries to pop up, the sellers are coming in. So we might be lucky and get a breakthrough of the 88 round figure. Remember, the round figure is an area of psychological support resistance. So you often get a bit of noise around that level, a bit of profit taking, new guys entering or whatever. So just keep an eye on it. We don't want it to sort of jump all the way back up again, rather take it. And if it does jump, you can sell it back down again. So just keep a little bit of an eye on that one. But whatever you do, put your stop in at 88.50, so you're not going to lose on the trade, and see if you can break through. Okay, it's trying to. Let's hope it does. There you are. I hope that's all clear. Okay, what else did we have? The EUR CHF at 95.91. EUR CHF. Just be careful overexposing the Swiss franc. You might have noticed 2 more Swissies came out today. Just be careful of that. Maybe pick one instead of both, just in case, because otherwise you have 3 trades in the Swiss franc. Having said that, this is about the same as it was yesterday. It popped up, down, hovering a little bit. So yeah, just bear that in mind. As I mentioned before, we don't want to be overexposed in one particular currency. So 3 is pushing it to the limit. You don't be doing 4 in one currency in case the currency goes wrong, and then you got 4 in that one. That hopefully you know what I mean by that. I can't simplify anymore. Don't overexpose in one currency. Right. So 4's pushing it. 3's on the borderline. So if you like 3, go for it. If you prefer 2, then maybe pick one of the other 2. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So that's sort of right about break even, and the other 2 are up slightly, but give them a chance. Okay. We're out of all the others, I think, so there's not much point in going further back unless you want me to check into it for you. Okay. Hope we're all good with that. Okay.
It was only the AUD NZD for a buy on the trading room that we got.
Okay, well, I got that wrong at the moment because I thought it might have upside to this level, and some guys thought might have some downside. So the guys are looking at the downside are ahead of the game at the moment. I thought they might get a bounce. So are getting a bit of downside there. We entered yesterday, the guys in the trade room only, that is, right about 806 a buy, 803 the sell. So clearly the sellers are winning. They're about, what, 70, 30, 35 odd pips in profit. And the other guys, obviously, the other way around. So, yeah, it might have a bit of a bounce here. We'll see. The stop loss for the AUD NZD on the long was 40. So it hasn't reached that. So the long guys are still in. But unfortunately, it's not pretty. The ones that went for the downside, okay. And I think it's good enough now to maybe modify your stop just in case. So well done, guys. Okay, yeah, Dahlstrom, well, I can't take your word for it. Okay, Mike, not a problem. Well, it is for you, but I understand what I mean. Yeah, okay, that's why it's good to have alternate trades. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes wrong, sometimes you get it right, sometimes wrong. It just gives you a better appreciation how nothing's 100% in this business. And yeah, anyway, repeat myself. Yeah, okay, good. Right, so it might recover. It's trying to, but the short guys are winning at the moment. The long guys, well, we might have a win-win. The short guys might take the profit, bounces up. The guys in long. I've often seen that. The buyers and the sellers, actually, both of them won. Okay. So NZD CHF, I don't think it was sent out. No. It's not enough meat in the bones to send out today. We looked at it in the trading room this morning, in the strategy room this morning, as not enough meat on the bones. So we got in yesterday at 90. It's now 93. So it's hovering a little bit. It popped up, popped down. You get the idea. So let it run if you're in that trade. It's a couple of pips in profit. Okay, so let's see how it goes from there. Right. Okay. Anything else I missed out you just want to chat about? That's fine if you do. Just mention it to me. And then or anything you want to suggest having a look at. Ivan mentioned some Euro trades yesterday, waiting for the Eurozone. Not much happened, as you know. It came out as expected, so wasn't much happening on the Euro after 11 o'clock release. So we're going to have a revisit of those. 1, 2, 3, 4 who mentioned. We'll start off with EURCAD in alphabetical order. Thank you for printing that, Ivan. You got a buy on the Euro CAD. It seems to be a bit of I see where you're coming from, and I take your point entirely. It seems to be in a bit of a range trade. Okay. This is the problem I'm having on the 4 hour. It's in the sell zone and it's battling to break through. So on the daily, it's halfway on above and below this one. It's trying to move up. Let's look at the hourly. But yeah, it's trying to move up. Look at that. Look at that candle there. You see what I mean? It's quite common sense. It's nothing spectacularly clever. It's the buy and sell. As it comes down, the buyers are coming in. So we're trying to defend that. That's what you're looking at when you look at the candle. Straightforward. You see where I'm coming from here? It's below these guys here, and it seems to be holding. So I'm a little bit doubtful going for the buy on that one, or it does look like a range trade. I take that completely. I hear you, but the 4 hours giving me a little bit of worry. So I think I'm just going to play a little bit careful on that one and stand aside. Okay, we'll look at Brent in a moment. Okay, anybody want to do this, or should we stand? I'll tell you a better idea. I've mentioned it. If you like it, we'll come back to it. We'll put up the risk reward. Okay. This one was, oh, sorry, it's Brent. Beg your pardon. Yeah, if you're in Brent still in, I mentioned yesterday, someone to climb in. I gave them some figures they wanted to do it. Can't remember who it was actually, to be honest. But if you're really still in, you should have modified your stop to break even or better. If you're still in, so you can't lose in the trade, it's doing quite well. As for joining it now, I'm not too sure about that. I suggest you stand aside, okay? And don't try and short do anything with it. In fact, if you're not in, leave it alone. Simple as that. If you are in it, you got your stop modified. You should have had it modified to protect. And maybe it'll get to its target. I think it's about 87, the target, somewhere around about there. Okay, see what happens there, but I wouldn't get cute on at the moment. Leave it alone. Okay, that's my take on Brent, Ivan. Okay, do you agree, or do you want to do something with it now? Well, no.
I wanted actually to find out where to modify the stop loss to be the safest point to where it can still go up but not get stopped out unnecessarily.
Yep, I get you. What price did you enter?
I'm trying to look. It's a bit difficult with a load shedding now.
Oh, shit, okay.
Limited to one screen. But
oh, shit.
Doesn't want to open now for me.
Okay, well, I don't know if you got in with the signal one. If you got on the signal one, there was 82 something or other. See, I can find it written down. 82, where was it now? Just give me a moment. I'll try and find it with a bits of paper hanging around here.
82.30.
Oh, take 230. Great. Well, if you got in 82.30, it's $2.40 or $2.30 away, and that's fine. So maybe you can put it up to 82.40. Therefore, you can't lose. Your costs are covered. You might even make a round on it if it comes back and stops you out. So you take a risk out, and yet you still got a couple of dollars break to give it a chance to reach target. Okay, if you get a bit nervous, you might want to bank some of it and let the other run. So you've got a choice. You can modify up to 84.40, like I mentioned. So you covered your costs and everything. It's a decent enough gap between entry and stop loss. And if you see it's coming off and you're getting a little bit nervous, maybe you can bank some of your trade and let the rest of it run. How about that for a suggestion?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you, Roger.
Okay, pleasure.
I just modified it now.
Brilliant. And I say, if you want to bank some, it's up to you. Now, I hope everyone understood when I say bank some of your trade. I've gone over a few times, but I'm not sure everyone realizes that. We do get new buys coming in all the time. You don't have to close your entire position. You've got 10 apples. If you want to sell some apples, you don't have to sell 10. You can sell 5 apples if you want. You see what I'm trying to say? So I hope everyone knows you can bank part position, not the entire amount. If anyone doesn't know, you've got to interact and tell me, because this is the problem. People don't know and they won't ask. They won't say. Go on. Go on. Hello? Okay. So if you don't know how to bank it, well, ask. You see, some people interact and are doing fine. So ask. If you don't ask, I can't supply the answer because I don't want to bore everyone, tell them what they already know. So if you don't know how to bank part of your position, doesn't take long. I'll show you. Simple. It's quite simple. Okay. Let me know and I'll do it. If you don't ask, I'll obviously will assume you know. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's covered on Brent. Oh yes, that's right. I mentioned a couple of times about the economic calendar. I just want to copy and paste it for you because I know for a fact some guys don't have it. Because I know I see some new names in there, so I'll do the favor now. Just copy and paste it. Right, the economic calendar. Remember today, on Friday is the non-farm payrolls. We're going to do a 2 to 3 o'clock straddle trade on that as per normal. Don't forget. And today I don't think any particularly big deal. Manufacturing PMI is coming up 4. It can have an effect, but it's not a major market mover, but it'll have an effect. It's not a fireworks job. German manufacturing's coming in at 5 to 10. It's okay, but it's not a horrendous. So no panic on that. Pound's coming in with something at global, whatever that is. Oh yeah, manufacturing PMI is coming out on the pound. Purchasing Managers Index, for those who don't know, Harper's 10 on the pound. That might have some effect as well. Just bear that in mind. And you can check it out. The 2 and the 3 stars, 3 stars better. Okay, not a problem, Nikki. Just give me a second. Was I just put on the dollar for everybody? This is the dollar index for those who don't have it.
This investing.com actually has an app. So I'm running on the app on my phone, and it makes it a bit easier for me for trading. So I can keep an eye on the calendar, on the dollar index, the 10-year bond yield, and other, and it also pushes up the news regarding those certain items that you have. For example, dollar yen, euro yen. So the app makes it a bit easier if some other people want to download the investing.com app.
Very important that. I assumed everyone had that. Of course, it's an app. And also use the widget, if you like, as well. So you can have the app, quite rightly to say, Avon, and also you can have it a widget on your face there, and you can make a little bit of a, what you call it, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a profile, watch list, sorry, watch list. And you can put in things like DXY or whatever you want to put in as a little bit of a watch list, and you can just click onto your phone, maybe sometimes refresh it, and you got it there on your phone, on the desktop of your phone, as well as as a widget, as well as investing.com. Absolutely, yeah, useful stuff to have. Okay, great stuff. All right, so you got the 3 there, you got the yields there, and you got the DXY, and you've got the economic calendar. Always remember, if you don't know, you're not sure, do as Nikki does, ask, because it's no, people don't ask, they don't know, and then wonder why they don't know. You've got to like ask. Yeah. Okay. Right. I put my details here. Roger Trading Support. You can use a WhatsApp. Okay. It's 061 529 3431. So if you've got a funded account and you're not part of my VIP group, you need 2.5 grand or more, I'll upload you. Just let me know, etc. I'm there to advise and assist. The number's there, contactable. If it's anything to do with trading, come through to me. You can go to the live chat. They'll put it through to me anyway. Remember, there's a lot of other departments, but they're licensed to do what they've got to do, but they're not licensed to advise on trading. So if you go to them and ask advice on anything to do with trading, they have to put it through to me, so you might as well come direct. Okay, just to WhatsApp will do, and I'll try and assist, but not on demos, only on Funded Live. Okay, now going back to Nikki, right,
Roger,
there you
can
are.
I ask you something quickly,
Okay,
please?
of course, sure, of course.
I'm sorry, Nikki, I'm interrupting. I had a finger problem here, and I made my GBP CHF, instead of a 0.02, I made it to 0.2, 0.2.
Okay.
Yeah, even a 0.1 is too much for me. I wanted a 0.2 or 3. I can only half the value, can I? The volume.
Yeah, yeah, you can certainly do that.
But
You can certainly do that.
Less, can I? Can
Say
I
again,
take?
sorry.
Can I reduce it to 0.02?
No, you got 0.0. Oh yeah, 0.02. In other words, you've got 2 minis.
Yes.
Let's just use minis and micros. It's a lot easier, no confusion. You got 2 minis and you want to have 2 micros. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes, yes.
Okay. Well, obviously 2 from 20 is 18. So if you want to bank 18 micros, all you do is you bank 18 micros. You know, just
Okay. The thing
the
is,
volume.
I'm in a negative. I'm not in a positive. I can't bank.
Well, yeah, I get that, but obviously, yeah, we yes, you can. But the point is now is, do you bank 18 micros in a negative, or do you hope it's going to come right and you make a nice big payday, or do you risk because you're nervous as all hell it might get worse? That's the decision you have to make. Are you with me?
Yes, I am. So maybe I should, yeah.
I can't make that decision for you. I can't.
Okay.
It's your money. I can say, I'll tell you what I can say. I would not have put out a trade idea if I didn't think it was a short, if I didn't think it was okay. Do I think it's going to come off? Yes, I do. But I don't know that. I think it will. I don't know that. My worry, if I say, I think you should have a big payday, it's looking very good, I very much believe, and it goes wrong, and you have a serious bang on it, which is 10 times. Remember, micros, it's 10 times the exposure. I don't respond for that. So it's your decision. Do I think it'll come off? Yes, I do. Will it come off? I have no idea. Nobody does. So you've got to say, give it a bit of a worry. Maybe you can say, I can hang on a little bit. Maybe if it gets above 1220, if it gets above 12, I'm just throwing it out. I don't know. 1220 on the sell. I can't take any more. I'm just going to have to bank the bloody thing. Or you can say, right, I'm getting out 18 micros now, or or so I'm giving you alternatives, and it's your decision. I know you do, man. I'm talking for everybody else, because they want, in their fear, a set 100% answer. It's not about 100%. Remember, markets, buyers and sellers, guys. I'm speaking to everybody out there, not just self, Anne-Marie. I know you get that. So I'm throwing out the parameters. It's your decision. Okay.
I still have a free margin, and the margin level is still okay. So maybe I'm going to hang on to it instead of banking a minus.
Okay, fine. I'll put it another way. Let's say it stops you out on 10 times that. You're not going to be out of house and home. You get my point. You're going to be fed up, but that's it. Yeah. It's when guys overexpose, and I've had guys overexpose, not listening, doing ridiculous things. I've explained it. They're going to do it all over again. Then they start complaining, I'm not quite out of house and home, but not far from it. That's ridiculous. You don't go into a casino and put your house on red in case black comes up. I mean, that should be common sense with a mode takeover. So I just put in perspective, I wouldn't panic overall. You're going to be annoyed and that's it. But if it goes over maybe 1.120, let's get a bit more technical in the round figure. Let's have a look. Yeah, if it goes above 1.120, round about these, not on the buy, but on the sell, remember that. So that goes to 1.1220. It looks like it's going to take out the 100-day moving average. It looks like, and it's taken out this area here, which also a bit of support resistance. It looks like we might have a problem, Houston. So rather worry about that when it gets there. But at the moment, it's not there. So I think that would probably be a bit. I'm sorry I'm spending time on this, guys, but this is very important. Mickey, you're going to have to wait. I'm sorry. This is very important. Something overexposed would sorry. This is very important. This is an even higher precedent. So what we're going to do now, do it for anybody. We're going to try and rescue the situation. That's what we're doing. Actually, I'm going to put this forward as number one precedent. If you go on the fat finger in a hole in an open live trade, this I think will take priority, anything new coming on. And that's why it can work together. Does that make sense? So that's great.
If I may say here, Roger, Anna-Marie, just hang 10, don't bank, because it's bouncing up and down. And if you look at the 30-minute chart, it seems to be going in our favor at the moment.
Yeah.
So just hang 10 a little bit.
I quite agree, Peter, but you've got to understand the fact that it might not. So I've got to be covering my backside or be careful on this.
No, of course.
It might bounce up and the loss even worse. I would say at the moment it's coming off. And don't forget, once it gets back into break even and better, you can actually wait for you might make a bloody happy payday.
I'm actually in profit now.
Oh, well, there you're right then.
Yeah, I'm actually in profit now.
Okay, now you've got to make a very difficult decision, because I'm overexposed. Do I cut my position or do I hold on and hope for a big Christmas day? That is, again, your choice. Do you understand where I'm coming with this? Everybody out there.
Yes, yeah. I do. I understand. Thank you. I panicked a bit when I saw what I did. Yeah. But I went in at market, so that's good. It's in profit now. Thank you.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you,
brilliant.
everybody.
Yeah. keep an eye on it. You might get a big payday. If it starts coming down, going up again, bank 18 and let the 2 micros run. Now you
Okay,
might have your
thank
cake and
you.
eat it. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Sorry to go on, but it was very important that. And remember, I'm not just talking to one person. I'm speaking to everybody because it worries me they're not getting the mass of this. And if you don't get the mass, it's going to come up and bite. Now you're learning from that incident, and it's a real live situation. It's not a theory. So it can be very useful. Okay, right, good enough. Good.
Roger, regarding
Yeah.
Anna Marie's situation, would
Yeah.
it be advisable for her to modify her stop loss because of overexposure, or would it become too large of a problem?
No, I don't need to modify the stop loss. It stays too close, etc. Yeah, I think it's better she just monitors it. She's not, when you got a big position there, you don't go running off to do the shopping if you're overexposed. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I'm not sitting beside her, but I can virtually have a high probability she's keeping a good eye on it. So yeah, don't take a loss on it. I don't know what sort of profit you're in, but you might have to say if it gets back to break even, you might have to bank. You choose what you bank, but yeah, don't modify the stop loss, no, because it's too close. Rather monitor it and start reducing it, and then you can relax. Okay. Or you can bank some. The only thing is you bank some and it comes screaming off and you make 100 instead of 1,000. You might be a bit fed up. That's the choice you got to make. Okay, right. Okay, any bouncing on the AUD CAD? Looks like it's trying to break through. That's good news. Hope it breaks through. We can do even better. But whatever you do, modify your stops so you can't lose on the trade. The other one we had out, anything happening there to the good? Dollar Swiss franc, 87.16. Not pretty, but it might come right. It's trying to bounce up on the daily, and it seems to be holding there and on the 4 hour as well. So it might come right. Okay, hopefully does. Okay, NZD-CHF, anything happening there? Careful, any more Swiss franc ones, don't overexpose one instrument, seem to be trying to come off. Not too bad. Okay, right, good stuff. Yeah, don't think I've missed anything. I hope not. Right. Oh yeah, Nikki. I'm sorry. The 2 trades, Nikki. Where are you? Still there, Nikki, or did you get kicked out again on the internet? I think you're still there. Can you hear me all right? Just reiterate, what would you like me to look at? No, we're all together on this. Very important, Anne-Marie.
Just the
Go on.
GBP.
Pardon? I'm saying I'm having problems with the internet again, I'm afraid. I didn't hear you. I've got headphones on to make it clearer as well.
Hi, Roger. Sorry, you broke out there. What did you just repeat what you said?
No, you had a query about the trades. Okay.
Oh, yes. I just wanted to ask if you could repeat GBP CHF explanation for that one.
Okay. Right. As I mentioned, the Swiss franc is probably our strongest currency of the crosses and the majors. Okay. The big ones, the strongest currency. The pound is a bit of a maverick, a bit of an iffy currency, but I still think it's much more of a middleweight, while the Swiss franc's a heavyweight. In fact, of all the currencies now, I think there's only one heavyweight, and that's the Swiss franc. It's popped up to support there, which is around about this level here. You can see that's popped up to support, and it's in the sell zone as regards these guys here. Okay, the dollar has jumped up, but it seems to be holding round about the 102 mark. Okay, it seems to be holding around about that level. Okay, so I thought there might be, so I'm not dollar now, GBP, so I think of Swiss franc. Sorry about that. I think of the dollar Swiss franc, GBP. So go back to, sorry, that was my mistake. Start again. Right, it's got nothing to do with the DXY, beg your pardon. So the Swiss franc, like I mentioned, is one of the strongest. This is a middle one. And on the technical base, it's rallied to that support level there. It tried to break up yesterday and failed, tried to break up today and failed. So I thought that the downside rally has a potential. Okay, I've got the stop above the 10-day moving average. I didn't put above the 200 because I want to get a risk reward down here. If I put the stop above there, I won't get a risk reward. So I took the risk of putting the stop above here, which hopefully it would hold on this guy here. That's the idea behind the trade, and we'll see if it can work out. Okay. We can look at the weekly as well. Okay, it's holding below there on the weekly, and that's only 30 pips away. So that's quite a bit of a problem to get through if you're going to get stopped out. The stop will be above there. So that's quite a good hurdle to protect you. And on the 4 hour, it seems to be holding on the 100 times 4 hour. Again, the stop, I think if I remember right, is up here. No, it's not. It's up here somewhere. Okay, this seems to be holding. So that is the reasons why I thought that might be a possible short. Hence it was sent out. All good?
All right, thanks.
Okay, and that's it. And now that's what she's asking there means people don't just, as you mentioned, Pietro yesterday, people just blindly go into trading signal. Again, that's not thinking. Number one, why buy a course costing you money when you get a signal for free anyway? All you got to go is platform train. It was completely free. Get a signal, it's completely free, and away you go. No idea why and where you're doing it. So what's the point of paying for an educational package? Number two, it's not as simple as that. If you don't know how to read the signals and choose between them and modify and that sort of thing, you can turn winners into losers. You're going to lose on the loser. We get that. Turn winners into losers. So the idea then is to understand why. And that's what Nikki was doing and Pietro's doing and Ivan doing. A few guys are asking, I thought that was the long. Why are you going short? And they give a reason for it. And some are wrong. AUDNZD, I thought it was going to get a bounce, and it didn't. At least we get an understanding why we're doing it. Remember, you're not in the army, you know, like the First World War. I'm the general, you're the private. Over the top, lads, walk into the machine guns. Aye, aye, sir. And off you go and you moan down. No. No, you say, hang on, general, there's machine guns shooting at me. I'm not going up there. That's your choice here. You won't be shot as a coward here. Yeah. If anyone knows much about the First World War, talk about human insanity. God, bloody hell. Anyway, you get my point. Okay. Interact and learn, not blindly follow. You're not in the army now, as I say. Good. LUV, by the way, hit TP, which is quite nice as well. Any questions, guys? Any questions on the fundamental side? Remember, 10:30 is something come out of the UK. I don't say it's going to be a major world shifter, but just being aware of the PMI at 10:30, and 4:30 is the US PMI as well. No, it's not. Yes, it's the ISM. It's manufacturing. Beg your pardon. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then we have the big one coming up on Friday. Maybe we'll get some good stuff going there. Make sure you got load your account, some free margin. Don't forget, I posted my number. If you missed it, came a bit late, I'll post it again. Anybody who hasn't got my WhatsApp number and has $2.5 grand or more and wants to be be loaded on my VIP group, just ask me, and I'll post my number for you. Well, no, I'm not selling the Swiss franc. We're buying the Swiss franc, unless I read your comment incorrectly. I've done that a few times, I might add. The Swiss franc is bullish. That's fine. We're not buying the franc. We're selling the opposite currency. We're buying the Swiss franc. On the GBP, USD, and the GBP CHF, every single one of them, we're buying this franc. So if you think it's bullish, then you want to take the trades. Unless I misunderstood your comment there. You like the old NAS, do you? I normally do. Just nervous at the moment. I can't really see it's worth jumping in for a short now. It's high. It's not really good enough. It is high. It's been high for a while. Doesn't say it's going to come down. Look at yesterday's candle. Total indecision. To me, at the moment, I'm scared to buy at these levels, but I'm certainly just as scared, if not more so, to sell it. We could get 16,000 on the cards, a round figure. I don't see yesterday's candle today or any news coming out that's convincing me you're going to get a short on this one. And it's a little bit hovering now to buy it. NASDAQ is one of my favorite instruments. I love it. But right now, it's a leave alone territory, in my opinion.
I wanted to go in for a long on this one, but I cannot get the risk reward on the NASDAQ because my TP is 16,085 roundabout.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you can have a problem. Definitely. That's what it's about, just under 300 pips with, as you know very well, at least a 200 pip stop loss or more, even 250. Not, you're quite right. And it seems to be hovering at the moment. The reason why it's hovering, a lot of people are nervous about buying at these highs. Some people are taking profit, who've been in for quite a while, and some guys are jumping in for sell because they think it's a bit high, because often that's an emotional strategy rather than any other sounds to back it up, which gives it a little bit of a sort of a sideways movement. So I just don't think there's enough meat on the bones at this stage to buy it right at the moment. Although I think it's a good chance it might get to 16,000. Yeah, but you can't get a risk reward. Leave it alone. Almost on that subject, look at the Dow before we get the NZD again. Similar situation. It's got to break through to buy it, but why would you sell it? Leave it alone. Okay. So NZD JPY, a typing error. Yeah, it's up to you what you want to do. I think the Swiss franc is bullish, so that's why we sold it. If you think it's bearish, you leave the trade alone, or you go for you sell the Swiss franc. It's entirely up to you. NZD JPY. I'm here to advise, but I can't foretell the future. Pity, but there it is. Okay, right. NZD JPY. That's for a sell. Actually, I get what you're coming from, Ivan. I totally get what you're coming from. Now, you're going to say sell, but it's clear in the buy zone. It's been a pretty bullish move up. Why is he seeing a sell there? Because he sees that the NZD might be a little bit overvalued and Japanese yen a bit undervalued. And I tend to go along with that. It might also be looking here as a range trade. I just want to explain. I've done this before, by the way. So, you know what I mean? He's worth listening to. Okay. Yeah, we've got a range trade, plenty of meat on the bones, no problem with that. There's a little bit of support there, so we can look at the 4 hour. It's a little bit of a problem here on the 4 hour to break through on the 10 times, the 200 times, the 50, and down here to make it worthwhile. My problem is the 4 hour on that one, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hurdles to get a decent risk reward down here. You get my point. And on the 1 hour, it's no buyers coming in, which is good. So I totally see your point. My problem is the 4 hour chart is telling me there's quite a few hurdles to get to my TP. I don't mind 1, but 4 is asking a bit much. So I personally, I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to leave this one alone. But I see your vision completely. Anybody out there Rambo enough to want to take this as a short? Including you, Ivan. Don't look at me. Nice one. I'm going to be honest, Ivan. If Rambo chickens out, there's not much hope for the rest of us. So I think that compounds the leave it alone territory.
I'll rather than maybe wait for it to hit its yesterday's high again and then go in back for the pullback. But it already dropped quite a bit. So if it's a bit higher, I'll maybe consider going for the pullback again.
Yeah, just be careful. If you're doing a pullback, you've got to be on it. It's a bit of a range trade, and be careful because at the moment the trend is still up. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll keep my a good eye on my lot size and risk that I'm putting into this. But yes, it is a bit risky, but I'll rather wait for a better price before going in for the pullback.
Okay. Now, did everyone hear what he said? Everyone hear what he said? Reducing lot size a little. You get it. Everyone listen to what he said there. That's where I want you start to thinking in that same sort of level. That's where you want to. And I said before, it's not rocket science. And that's the fear when you start. You think it's much more complicated than it actually is. Listen to what he says. He said that in a nutshell. Was any of that splitting the atom astrophysics stuff? No, that's the way you should be thinking. Okay, thanks for that. Good.
Yes,
Right.
Ivan, I agree with you. I was thinking of waiting for the pullback up down to 18,700 and then take a long on it again because there's some resistance on it. 87.7, Roger, a little bit higher.
87.7. I thought it said, okay, 87.7.
They slightly
Round about there.
lower. Yeah.
Slightly higher than that. Yeah. Okay. Round about that level. Yeah.
There was a resistance and it may form, it was a ceiling and it may form a resistance there.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Then
can see it
buy
there.
it,
Yeah. Yeah.
buy in on it.
You could even do that, buy in it. Yeah. That's 30 odd pips
For
away.
a long.
Yeah. 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 That's actually probably slightly more sensible. But I'm just worried about the Kiwi dollar. It's not the greatest at the moment, but technically, not looking at the currencies involved, technically, yeah, that looks good as long as it's confirmed bounce. Don't jump in when it hits there. Don't put a buy limit pending order in because it might not hold. It might come off a bit more. But I see a vision. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for that. Brilliant. Well, no, I'm going to answer that one, Gerard. We all agree that there's by far the most powerful emotion. No doubt about it, is fear. Far, far, far more powerful. It guides our lives on the planet. Most stuff comes out of fear. Fear is without doubt. I'll give you an example. You win 1,000 rand, you feel good. You lose 1,000 rand, you feel terrible. The emotion is much more powerful on the fear side. That's an absolute undebatable fact, yeah. The trouble with what happens in fear and greed is you're scared to do something, you're scared to do it, then you do it, and it works out. The fear, then what happens? The greed takes over, and you double up the next time. So they're both your enemies, but the fear is the most powerful. All advertising, all marketing, all selling is based on those two emotions. All of it. They talk about the lodge. It's got nothing to do. The lodge's got nothing to do with it. It's all based on those two emotions. In the democracy, when they're campaigning to get voted, it's a sales pitch. They build on fear. If you don't vote for us, you vote for the opposition. They're going to, and they sell unemployment, blah, blah. They're selling fear. But if you come to me, they're selling the greed to come to me, if you like. All of it. I've been in sales. I know it's a fact. It's fear of the unknown. Absolutely. It is. Well, you might not believe in evolution, but whether you do or not, the fact is built into our psyche over 100,000 years. All animals, insects, but animals, including the Homo sapien. Absolutely. Euro dollar. Let's have a look. Well, clearly it's the buy zone. The dollar's been very weak lately. We all know that. Nothing strange about that. I'm looking at it's above 102 at the moment. Will we get more upside? I'm not so sure about that. The only thing I think will push the dollar a bit stronger is if the non-farm payrolls comes out much better than expected. It could be considered fairly inflationary, which might push Powell to talk that, not Powell, but I mean, the other guys, institutions will think that it might push Powell at the next FOMC meeting to put interest rates up, which will strengthen the dollar. That could change the scenario. So I think it's going to be hot, sideways moving. It might get an odd jump here and there, a little fundamental today, a little fundamental tomorrow. Weekly jobless claims on Thursday could push it around a bit, maybe the 101 to 102.50 or 101.50. I don't know, but I think it's going to be sideways in that brand until the non-farms comes out. So at the moment, it's to me, it's not offering enough meat on the bones. I don't want to be selling it, and if I did, I'm going against the trend. It's in the buy zone. I've got 60 pips to work with. We're going to put my stop. If I put it above yesterday's high, it's not going to give me a risk reward. It's some buyers coming in here, buyers coming in here, buyers coming here. Buy it from here, it might happen, but is the dollar again that's weak enough to justify it? The sellers came in here, the sellers came in here. Can you see that? Just looking at that candle. This again, I'm trying to get across to people. Don't be frightened. This is not. When I learned, it's all rocket science because people went all these fancy stuff, fancy jargon. Oh, what I got myself into. I'm trying to cut all that BS out and just have a look at the buy and sellers are doing. It's not giving you much downside momentum or comfort or follow through, and it's not really giving you much upside. To me, I don't see anything there on the daily at all. 4 hour is in the sell zone. So you got the daily in the buy zone and the 4 hour in the sell zone, and it's not going anywhere. I hope I'm not talking too quickly, by the way. I hope you're following what I'm saying there. And you can read that off yourself. And you think, well, it's not really going anywhere. Get onto it. Do you want to go on a slow bicycle or you get a decent car that's moving quickly? You get the idea. It's not getting any follow through. My euro dollar is just leave the thing alone. You're smiling. Oh no, you're not. Hang on, it's only 41.1023. Seem to be breaking, but I see what you mean. You sort of broke above the bit of support resistance there. So you shorted. That's fine. You're now 33 pips in profit. You're smiling, Ivan. Get your, that's up to you. I'm suggesting modify your stop to break even and see if you can get some more downside. You can't lose the trade. That's fantastic. Well done. New guys on the trade alone. If you want to guess, take a gamble, flick a coin, go for it. But on the information in front of me now, leave it alone. Okay. Okay, Edwin? $1.101. 1.101. What's that now? One. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, it's 30 pips. That's good enough. Yeah. Good. Okay, let's just check to see that in your full position. You still hold. That's not there. Once she, yeah. We'll see what happens there. Trying to get going. It's a bit quiet. Okay, is the AUD making progress? Slow, but it's trying to. NZDCHF, what was the other one? Forgotten there. Sure, Millie. NZDCHF. What's gold doing? Hovering. Okay. NZDCHF, hovering. And the other one was a dollar Swiss franc. 41, not pretty at the, maybe 20, just over 20 pips, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, good stuff, Edwin. Good stuff. I trust you agree, but it's up to you, but I hope you do. Okay, so you want to look at the moment, we covered, oh yes, so go back to some Ivans from the Euro. Euro GBP, just cover those as well to see if they're still worth looking at. Euro GBP, you wanted to sell that on the daily. It's hang on, too much indecision today so far. Indecision yesterday, 4 hour. The sell, I agree on the 4 hour. No follow through. It's not getting going. Leave it alone. Just not happening. Okay. The other one was Euro JPY. This one you wanted to sell. We discussed it earlier on. Daily, the 4 hour. No, it's just no, it's holding on the 10 times 4 hour. Not happening. Leave it alone. Euro NZD. That would probably no, you're looking for a sell on that one. I'm not too sure about that. It was yesterday just as well. It went up, so just why didn't do that. No, leave that alone clearly. And the AUD, the ones you guys did with me, hovering, crabbing. It's crabbing at the moment. But it might come right in a profit. Guys who went short, that's fine. So Euro one, sorry, I'd say leave them alone. And the guy took the short on this one, the smiling, get your stop to protect you. Guys are buying, you got your strategy, you might come right. In fact, you might both come right. Okay. Looked at AUD CHF, but unfortunately, we're a bit overexposed to the Swiss francs, so I'll leave it alone anyway. Just going to quick look at some of these to see if we can find something. Okay, that's the sell zone. If we get it a bit higher up, be better. 20 pips. Let's look at the weekly. Not really telling me much. Bit of support resistance there. It's got a potential, this one. Hour backs it up. Any buyers coming in? Because I want to get slightly higher, so I want buyers to come in. How far away is that? It's only 20 pips away. This, I think, is a potential. We could have maybe a short on this one. Is enough meat on the bone? Yeah, there's plenty of meat on the bones. Take it down here somewhere. Maybe a tight, aggressive one down there. It's a possibility on this guy, but not the moment. NZD USD. Not getting going. Bit risky to go either side that. And the AUD USD. Trying to. Maybe tomorrow we get something. Okay. Just had a quick look to see any other possibilities for it. CAD GPY we haven't looked at for a while. Quit the TP on that one, which is quite good. Not sure I'll be chasing it now. Might come back a bit. If it bounces, there's a chance here. If it bounces from the support level up to go up there, got enough meat on the bones, but rather wait. We'll take it down there. Not enough for me either. That's about all I can think of at the moment.
Roger, I did see that the fact that Australia Reserve Bank did not increase the interest rate as expected, that knocked the Aussie, make it much weaker.
Yeah, it depends how they took it. I mean, it's expected. Aussies have in the past come out with something that is not as expected, to be fair. Maybe the institutions were disappointed. Maybe the institutions thought that it would be that deserved an increase. Maybe they thought it was too inflationary. They disagreed, and that's why they sort of weakened the dollar by selling it, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's just saying, get the information. What's likely to happen if it goes up or if it goes down? It mainly, there's a bit more to it than that. It depends, and we don't know that until afterwards what the institution decide they're going to work on. They might decide that it's not inflationary, so they won't give it a kick or something like that. So clearly they thought that they wanted a higher interest rate for curbing inflation or something in that line, or anyway, they thought they could weaken it, so they sold it because of the volumes they deal in. Remember, we're big. I mean, retail market does a couple of billion a day or whatever, but it's still peanuts compared to worldwide institutions. Yeah, that's basically it. So they decided that they're going to sell the dollar. It will clearly come off. And that's why I tried to impress, you know. It's just because it's gone that. Why has the opposite occurred? Depends how it's interpreted by institutions.
Roger?
Yep.
I would like to warn everybody. I was wondering what mistake I made because I don't usually make a mistake like 0.02 and 0.2. What happened is I did a position calculator and I put in my 0.02.
Yeah.
Saw everything, and then I closed my position calculator. I clicked on the cross and I closed it, and then I put in my new order, not seeing that went automatically to the previous one.
Good point. Yes.
Yes. So that was my mistake. I closed my calculator before I put in my order.
Very good point. I've done that myself. I mean, you might have gone to gold, which is a much, it's the contract size is pretty small. So you might do, let's say, 2 or 3 micros on, minis on gold, 20 or 30 micros on gold. And then you've done that and it defaults to the next one. So now you're going to the NASDAQ and you've forgotten it's still sitting on 20 micros. You might want to go in 2 micros on the NASDAQ and you click on it, forgetting, because it looks the same. 20 and 2 quickly. You forgot it defaulted from the previous one. Spot on, and I'm glad you raised that for everyone. So just make sure. I know it's tempting. I do it all the time. I meant modified, I think yesterday, a stop loss, and I meant to modify, and I closed it by mistake. So it happens. So yes, especially doing things, other things, or lots going on, you sometimes click and you move it a bit. It's probably better to take a deep breath and check before you click the buy or sell button. But to a good point, yeah. Check the volumes as well. Make sure the orders are right, yeah. But it might still be Christmas. It's not doing well at the moment. It's popped back up again. But as long as it doesn't get carried away to the upside. Are you still in it? Are you still holding the full 20 micros? Or you banked any of it?
No,
Anne-Marie?
I'm holding, and this is
Okay.
a lesson in patience today.
Okay, a lesson in patience. Just remember, it's not going to throw you out of house and home. So hopefully it'll come right and maybe get a nice, as you say, Christmas. Or yeah, there we are. Gerard says it might become an early Christmas for you. Let's see if it can come right. It's just because it's fairly hovering, it's crabbing, as you say, at the moment. But as it tries to push up, the sellers are coming in. 10:30, 2 minutes. Oh, hang on, 2 minutes. We're getting the, is it, what PMI is it? PMI, well, I can't try and remember now. Just give me a second while I go over another chart. 10:30. Oh, bloody, all this crap's in the way. I can't see a thing. Where are we now? Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday, here we are. Tuesday. Bloody hell. These 3 screens ready. Yeah, up to 10.
PMI.
Is the PMI coming out? Yeah. Sorry, I had to get other stuff out the way. It's clattering like the chat line and all the others, and then move it back from Wednesday to Tuesday, and it takes time. Okay, 1 minute PMI. Maybe it'll come right. Let's hope we've all got hands praying for you there. Okay, there, Anna-Marie. The trading gun mascot. We're all on your side here. While he's doing that, excuse me a second. Give you food pass. I like it. Just give me a second, guys. Just going to see a man about a dog for a second. It's a funny way of saying restaurant. Excuse me.
Hello, Mr. Rogers.
Okay, better than expected, 45.3.
See much happening there, did it? On the 15-minute, anything much happening? So I get this stuff all out of the way again. So we'll see what else going on. 45.3, very little difference. 45 expected, not much.
But it definitely strengthened the pound in the immediate seconds.
I looked after place to trade. My trade levels, stop loss and TP disappear. Got me on that one. Sorry, you couldn't hear me. I hadn't got the headphones on. Sorry, Wandili. You got me on that one. So you put in a trade, GBP CHF. Let's just do it here, just show you. So you put in a trade, GBP, put stop loss TP, you sell at market, and you're telling me when you get in the trade and your stop loss and TP disappear. I'm not too sure about that.
Yes, it only shows up for like few minutes and then they disappear. So when I click on the resize and the rescale button, they're not there. But my trades are running. So now I'm not sure if maybe when I'm hitting the stop loss and when I'm hitting the TP, because they're not indicating.
Absolutely no idea, to be honest. I've never ever heard of that before. Nada, zero. I mean, I'm sorry, I have no idea whatsoever. Never, everyone said anything like that before. All I can suggest is you go to the Clinton might have an idea. I got me on that, unless somebody else picks it up.
Okay, cool, sir. Thanks.
I'm pretty certain, actually. I agree, Gerard. The question is lost in translation. I'm pretty damn sure of that, to be honest. But it doesn't matter. You can always put them in again. I mean, I can go in at market right now, and I can put my stop loss and TP in after if I want. But I agree, Gerard. I'm pretty sure the question is lost in translation, to be honest, because that doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, if you've entered the trade, suddenly it disappears. Your stop loss TP, just go and modify it in the normal way and put them in again. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that was a bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? Nothing much happened there. Not even on the 5 minute. Sod all happened there. So, yeah. Anyway, keep your fingers crossed on it. Come back to it. AUD, UAD. Not much noise at all, eh? It's trying to come off. AUD, CAD, great stuff. All those modified the stop, great stuff. It's broken through the round figure. Hopefully it'll continue down. That's doing well. Brent's starting to go up a bit. That's okay if you're still in it. AUD, NZD. Not much happening there. Euro CHF. That was at 91. It's up a little bit. NZD CHF probably up a little bit as well. No, that's off a bit. Strange. Now that's coming off a bit for whatever reason. Dollar, Swiss franc, not doing well. It's going up. It's not looking pretty. It's a bit strange, that, isn't it? I don't know what that is. What's the dollar doing? No, it's not going anywhere. The dollar. I don't know why that's popping up. Oh well. This is what it is. Yeah, you can do that. Right click on the chart and do on the trade levels. NZD CHF TP is. Oh, sorry, it's not on there. I've got it down as 5333. Sorry, yeah, 5333. 0.5333. Okay, have we got that? Anyway, we've seen that before, guys, haven't we? Where trade's not looking good. It gets pretty close to the stop. I think even AUD, I don't know, got fairly close. I can't remember now. Anyway, and then it comes right, and yeah, so give it a chance. Don't forget, you don't know how long you're going to be in there. Might be a day, might be a week, might be a few days, depending on the market. Good. Right. Keep an eye on this. What you call Discovery. What's Disney? Not my idea. Actually, it's Farney's, but here's a possibility. It seemed to be holding there. Might be a possibility of a short on this one. What's the Dow doing? Trying to come off. Not telling you much. What do you think? Is a possibility of some downside here, do you think, on Disney? You see it's the sell zone. It's rallied up to touch and hold yesterday's close at 10:30 in the evening our time. It closed on there. So maybe on opening, if it comes off a bit, we can get a sell on that one. Maybe $2.30, $2.40 risk. that take you down to there? Would that work? $2.30, 115, 340. Yeah, just about work. Just about work. What do you think of that? $2.30. Call it $2.40 company, $2.40 risk per share. I had a short on Disney.
Okay, and then your entry point, you think it's something, let's take it to hopefully get up to 91.
The entry point, well, I'm going to market or better. I think I put the stop above this guy here. Just above this guy here, somewhere up there. Maybe 91.20 or something like that. I mean, obviously, you have to see what it opens. If it opens above there and you think it's going to come off, you can sell it there or leave it in case you got the trade wrong, it's continuing up. If it opens around about that and starts coming off, you get a risk reward. If it opens down there, you might have a problem getting a risk reward because you don't know what's going to open. You got to look at this. You got to look at it on opening. People don't seem to get that. You know, we put the signal out before opening. We don't know what's going to open at. You might get a better price. You might get a lot worse in your risk reward. You don't get. You know, still got to do the maths. If you're not getting a risk reward because open too low, you can't enter the trade. And these sort of basic people can't grasp. It worries me, you know, because how can you possibly? Chantel, that'll do. I'm not worried about the fourth decimal point there, the fifth decimal point. I'm after pips, not points, Chantel. Yeah. So, you know, what do you think of that? Do you think might be not a bad idea? I mean, we knocked around a bit by shares lately, Farnese. You're probably a little bit not most confident. You know, it knocks your self-confidence a bit, even if it's not your fault. But I think might be a possibility of some downside on this. And remember, it's not just a 50-day moving average. You look around here, it's hit this area here as support, and it seems to be holding. So if it opens round about this level, I think we get a stop up there and a TP down here somewhere.
No, I agree with you. I will check it on opening.
Okay. Does anyone else like look of it? Because if so, I can put it out to the company and they might send it out as a trading signal for us. Anyone agree? Let's get the figures up first of all. Because you can't use this calculator, remember? You got to use the Excel. I'm not going to bother with it. Because I don't really need to. If they like it, well, I suppose I'll have to use it because they'll want that out there. Try that. Now, the distance there to there is 2.2, so I've got to have at least 3.8, 3.9. It's not enough, so we're going to have to reduce this. Might work there. That's the wrong way around. That'll just about squeeze it. 222 and 11 to 33. That'll squeeze it. Which means the risk will be yeah, it'll be, call it $2.30 per share. Actually, it's probably closer to $2.40 with costs. $2.40. Oh yeah, you got that. Thanks, Ivan. There you got. If you want the calculator, there you are. Clearly, I've got it. If you want it, there you are. I work it out at $2.40 per share is your risk. Okay, so you can work it out from there. What's $2.40 in rands multiplied by the exchange rate? And away you go. I shall do it quickly for you. What's 240? What's the exchange rate now? Call it 18. So $2.40 times 18 is
Roger, you can use the calculator on these that have experience. You can even put in the commission size of 4% into the calculator.
Yeah, it is in there. In the calculator, it's there, yeah. 0.4% is in the calculation built in, yeah.
No, on the position size calculator.
You
that
mean on this
normally
one?
use. Yes. You can put
You
in
mean
the
this
commission as
one?
well.
All right.
Yes.
Nah.
Maybe you can give it a try and I can walk you through it if you want to.
Yeah, walk me through it. I didn't know you do that. What do I do?
All right. All right. You see on commissions, right? Under other types, you see commission one way per lot. It's a 0, 0. So that is in percentage. So you can put in just 4, and we'll give you the commission. No. You put on headlights. Let me just quickly open up mine.
Yep.
And make sure.
Okay, well done, One Daily, by the way. Good stuff.
And then you can put in the size, and it will give you a risk with a commission base. You have to make it a full amount, though. To give a 0.4, you have to put in 4.
Okay. Well, let's start off with this then. We're going to do 91.14. I got that wrong somewhere. And what the TP 85.11, call it 85.10, 85.10. And you don't put in 0.4 because that commission is 0.4%. You put in 4. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because that's just 4%. Because remember the commission is less than 1%. Remember that. Okay. Well, then it's not going to work, is it? I'm going to try it on the calculator, the other one, see the comparison. Just give me a second to open it up. Second. God, this crap's in the way. Where is it now? Ah, here we are. Just have to bear with me as I put the stuff in. Okay. Right. Okay. I've forgotten the figures now, so I have to be on this side here. Sorry, it's going to fill all this stuff with getting in the way here. There we are. Right. You're going in at one entry price would be 88.86. 88.86. See how it compares, okay? Take profit. We got in at 85.10. And the stop loss we have at 91.14. 91.14. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're not going to decent risk reward. Ain't going to work. You're quite right. Yeah. Okay, I'll fill around. I've got too much stuff on my screen. I'll fill around later on. We haven't got the chat line and the participants up on the screen. It's getting in the way a bit. It's not going to work. So we're going to have to play around with this. Just let me get this a little bit bigger. This is getting in the way. Right, we're going to have to make a plan on this, get this right out of the way. Disney, can we get anything lower for it? Maybe we can cheat a little bit and get it down here. 83.85, that might work. Because I don't want to fiddle with a stop, you know? Don't too close. 4 to 7. It might just be able to squeeze it, those figures there. Might just be able to squeeze it. But I don't want it any closer, if you see what I mean. Just before the weekly. I don't want it to stop any closer. I want to keep it out of the way of these two guys. Okay, what do you think, guys? Okay, that's better. Okay. Okay, finally likes it. Anybody else like it? Nobody? Okay, we'll have a look at that.
Because they will announce the stuff after closing bell today.
Okay, well, maybe we better wait till tomorrow if you're going to get fundamental released on that then. Yeah, of course. What do you want to do with it? You want to buy it? Sure, I won't be selling it there. Two very, very strong up movement there. Amazon probably the same. Where's Amazon? Well, that goes back to 200, my opportunity for sell, but I don't see much of it at the moment. We're on the daily, yeah. We'll see. Apple is very strong. I think stick to Disney at this stage.
Okay, thanks.
That's my opinion, that is, yeah.
Because I was also looking at Baba, but it seems that you cannot place a trade at this point in time.
No,
on
you
Baba.
can't. You can't. The reason being it's close only. The reason why you can't is because there was talk out there might be a share split. Now, that's not an issue if you know what a share split is, but majority of clients don't know what a share split is. And they short it, they get the share split, they think they made a fortune. And we got to now try and explain, no, they haven't. It's just a share split. They don't know what you're talking about now because they're not listening or not getting it. They think we're a bunch of scammers. No, we're not. It's a share split of, let's say, 4 to 1. All you're doing, the original guy will get 4 shares instead of the 1. It's suddenly come off from 100 to $25 a share. You made a $75 profit. No, it means they bring it down cheaper, so it's the retail market can afford to buy it, like they did with Amazon and Apple. Remember, Amazon and Google were at $3,000 not so long ago. Did about a 10 to 1 share split, just so it makes it affordable. And the guys who previously had 1 Amazon will now be given 10 shares. You know what I'm saying? Now, and they weren't getting this, and they thought we were, you know. So to stop that hassle, until it's confirmed they're going to do it or not, you can't trade it. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I do, because I wanted to enter last week Thursday already on 94.50, and then also Monday when markets open. And yeah, missed opportunity.
Specification, just go down here. It's a pity, but that's the way it is. Close only. Clearly, you can't stop a guy getting out of one, but you can't enter one. Okay, simple as that. Okay, it's frustrating. Yeah, I get that. GBPNZD. Is that a good uptrend to see possible retracement? Yeah, I think it seems to be. I hear you, Edwin. Yeah, seems to be range trading. How far has it been range trading? 2 or 3 weeks now, hasn't it? So range trade at the moment, absolutely. I don't see what the pound's going to do to push it further up. Don't see the NZD is going to push it below these guys here. There's nothing happening to show any change from the range. What is the size of the range? 200 pips, a beautiful large range there, Edwin. Yeah, I like it. Well done. So wait, can you get any further? There's a bit of resistance here. It might not go up this far. Any sellers coming in? Don't think so. Yeah, well, a little bit there. Not really, not really. There's no real sellers coming in yet, but I take your point entirely. I'm going to put a bit of a line there as a reminder. Yeah, if we get up to about 50, yeah, another 20 pips starts coming off, we can look at that as a range trade. It's happened every time. Well, body, guys. See that, guys? Keep up another 30 pips start coming off. What a pleasure. This is why we need a trading room, guys. We need people, you know, thank you, Edwin, who can spot this stuff. You can't expect myself or anybody just to spot all of them. So that's great. This is the interaction I love. That's brilliant. Okay, any comments on that? Did anyone else see that as well, a possible range trader? Yeah, at a slightly better price, absolutely. Ivan likes it, Fardy likes it, I certainly like it, yeah. So keep an eye on that. I think I'm not that keen on pending order in case the situation changes, but I can't see what's going to change that at the moment. We've had the GBP for what it was worth, the PMI coming out. Maybe you want to put what do you call it, a sell limit there. Maybe about 58, something like that, 60, somewhere around about there. Stop above these guys here. You certainly get a risk reward. TP down, maybe TP to the body. Let's have a look what that gives. Get it around about there. Stop up here. Yeah, about a 75 pips stop. And if you get it down there, and you can take it maybe there. Don't even there if you want. You get a hell of a risk reward. But yeah, I like it. Okay. Okay. Right. Just see how AUD before we close up is doing. AUD CAD. Wow. It's okay. At least it's a nice profit. 60 odd pips. Can't compare that. What's our good friend GBP CHF doing? Not good. I presume you're stopped out now. I don't know what you're doing there. You're probably scared to take the loss, probably holding on to guess psychologically. It's a very difficult thing to do. It's not pretty at the moment, but if you can handle it to this level here, and you're without jumping out the window or throwing away your house or whatever, that's a good chance you might hold, but you don't know. Okay, maybe you should have taken it really when, anyway, it's easier said than done. Thought you might be. Taking a loss is very difficult. Pure psychology. Well, if you can handle it getting to there, fine. But if it gets there and you're shaking with nerves, don't try and modify stop there because you're hoping to kind of come right. Because if it gets worse and worse, it's you get my point. But maybe it will do. Give it a chance anyway. Okay, NZDCHF. It's about the same. And the other one, USD switch, not very pretty at the moment, but we might get some strength creeping on the Swiss franc later on. Yeah. Okay, guys, any questions on that? Anything else before we close up till tomorrow? Okay, Anna-Marie, keep fingers crossed. I'll be watching it as well. And keep your fingers crossed for you. All good, guys? Anything else? All good? Hope you all had value and learnt it. Fantastic. Okay, guys. Yeah, catch you tomorrow.